A heritage unit is any locomotive painted in the paint scheme of its predecessor railroad, and this is often done to commemorate the predecessor railroad. One such railroad that does this is the Norfolk Southern Railroad, which has 20 different individual heritage units. As of the making of this video, I have seen 10 of the 20 Norfolk Southern heritage units, which means I am halfway done to seeing all of them. Okay, so actually, quick side note, as of the making of this video, I've seen another one, my 11th one, which is the Norfolk Southern heritage unit, but we're not going to count that in that video just for the sake of the top 10 list. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 list of these heritage units that I've seen so far, based on the first time that I've seen them, because some of these units I have seen more than once. So let's get right into it. Coming in at number 10 is Conrail. Now, I actually really love this paint scheme in this unit, but unfortunately, the first time I saw it, it was so far away I could barely see it, just sitting in a NOLA yard. So even though I really like this unit, unfortunately, it's gonna have to take the number 10 spot. Coming in at number 9 is Central of Georgia. Now, if you would have asked me this a little while ago, I probably would have said this was higher up on the list, just because it came out of nowhere. I was actually driving on my way to work and saw him crossing the bridge, totally by chance. However, I just feel like the footage is just so far away, just like the Conrail footage, that despite it being really cool, I just feel like I can't give it much higher for not getting a very good look at it. Coming in at number 8 is the Virginian Heritage Unit. This is one of my favorite units, and I think I've seen it about 3 different times. This one came totally by surprise. We had no idea it was coming. We were just shooting a video of this local freight switching out Lewistown Junction, and he just popped out of nowhere. Unfortunately, that meant that we were not able to set up for a better shot, and so it didn't end up being the greatest shot in the world, but still a pretty good shot in my opinion. And coming in at number 7 is the Norfolk and Western Heritage Unit, which I believe was the third, if I'm correct, the third heritage unit that I've seen. Not really a whole lot to say here. It turned out to be a pretty good shot. We caught it in Womelsdorf, which is one of my favorite spots to rail fan. I believe we caught it twice in one day. We caught it here, and then we caught it in Blandon, Pennsylvania. So we were able to get a couple good shots of it. This, of course, being the first time that we put our eyes on it. Number 6 is the Reading Line's Heritage Unit. This one we kind of took a gamble because there were no reports on the locomotive for a while. We took a gamble and went to Birdsboro, and sure enough, here it was. We took a couple pictures of it as it was sitting in the siding here. Pretty unique opportunity having an engine by itself like this. But yeah, I believe this was the 4th one that we've seen. Coming in at number 5 is the Monongahela Heritage Unit. This one is really special because this is I believe the 2nd heritage unit that I've ever seen, and the 1st heritage unit that I saw with my brother. This one, we actually were on our way to Railfan, a different spot, and looked in the distance and saw the Monongahela heritage unit trailing behind. So we quickly rushed over to Prescott and got out quick enough to go catch it. My number 4 on the list is the Lackawanna Heritage Unit, which is arguably the loudest horn that I've ever heard on any train. I will say that. There was just something about it that was just so much louder than any train that I've ever heard. The funny story with this one is that we actually were watching a train on the near track go by and looked underneath it and saw the Lackawanna Heritage Unit passing us, so we got completely blocked and were not able to get a shot of it. So we all quickly rushed into the truck and drove all the way to Cove, PA, where we ended up catching it and getting it on film for the first time. Number 3 is the first heritage unit that I have ever seen, and probably my favorite, the Pennsylvania Railroad Heritage Unit. I saw this kind of as I was just getting into the hobby of railroading, and I really wasn't sure exactly what heritage units were at the time. So this one came completely by surprise. This was supposed to be the last train that I caught that day, and it just so happened to be the Pennsylvania Railroad Heritage Unit. So this one does hold a very special place in my heart for being the first one that I've ever seen. Coming in at number 2 is the Erie Heritage Unit. This one holds a very special place in my heart simply because we waited in Mifflintown for about 6 to 7 hours for this train to get here. So we were really hoping that we could catch it before it got dark. It was getting dark really fast, and luckily we were able to get it while there was still daylight outside. So really cool unit in my opinion, and it takes the number 2 spot. And last but definitely not least is the Penn Central Heritage Unit, coming in at the number 1 spot. The reason this one's so high up on the list is because we waited in Mifflintown for about 6 hours, same as the Erie Heritage Unit. But the difference is that we had no idea where he went. He got to Rose Yard in Altoona and just disappeared. And we were getting really discouraged about the fact that we weren't going to see him because he just disappeared off the radar. And a little bit before we were about to decide to go home or not, we looked down the tracks, and sure enough, there he was, and we jumped out and were able to catch him. And then we actually chased him all the way to Cove, PA, right after that. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today's video. I hope you did enjoy, and when I do eventually see all 20 of the Norfolk Southern Heritage Units, I will probably make a video ranking all 20 of them together, which may kind of shift some of my placings around a little bit. So look forward to that. I don't know, it's probably going to be a while till I see all of them, but yeah, I just thank you so much for watching, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you like this kind of style of content, let me know, and I will continue to do stuff like this. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.